Ian K. Smith, who is here to introduce us to Eagle Rock, the fourth installment of your series of novels about Ash Cain.
Yes.
So give us the skinny. What's a little brief synopsis of the story?
Yeah, so Eagle Rock is the fourth installment. Each book is a different case. This case is Elliot Cantor, who is a billionaire in Chicago, one of Chicago's richest men, is found, bound up in a compromising position in his secret apartment near downtown. And the son is working with the police, they're trying to investigate it, and one of the police officers pulls him to the side and says, listen, there's a guy that can really solve this case for you. And his name is Ash Cain. And that's our guy. Ash Cain is a former Chicago police detective who leaves the force because he won't participate in a cover-up of an improper shooting. So he leaves the force and becomes a private investigator and takes on a few cases, very select cases in and around the city.
Okay, Ash Cain sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah, he's my kind of guy. He's everyone's kind of guy.
So where did you get the idea for the plot for the story?
So it's interesting, Chicago, like Atlanta, is a big city, so there are a lot of things that happen. Unfortunately, the media is rich with circumstances that you can draw from creatively.
Right.
So, I take a little piece of this, a little piece of that case. But Ash Cain as a character is someone I created because I wanted to create a character I've never seen in books or on the TV screen. I wanted a modern version of the private investigator. Everyone remembers old Columbo, but these old school investigators, though they were fun to watch and read, they were always very curmudgeonly, smoking or drinking. Ash Cain is a new type of PI. He is African American, he's in shape, he's suave, he's intelligent, he's handsome, he can quote Shakespeare, but he can also quote Biggie Small and Tupac. He's very comfortable in his skin, whether he's in the affluent north side or the tough west side of Chicago. Ash is always Ash, and he's always determined to get justice. No matter what, he wants to solve the case.
I need Ash's phone. I need to make a move on Ash, okay? So Ash Cain is a private investigator, and you're a doctor and health and fitness enthusiast. How much of yourself is in the character Ash Cain?
Well, they say that writers are most comfortable writing things that they know well, that they're familiar with. Ash Cain, I've infused some of my things and characteristics and traits in Ash Cain, but I always say Ash Cain is someone, when I die, if I came back, I'd want to be Ash Cain. And so he's a great golfer, he collects classic cars, he's romantic, though he does have some hardship in the romance department, so in the book there's a little romance going on. But he also he's super smart. I wish I could be as smart as Ash Cain, and he's tough. He's a very tough guy, and he's got this sidekick called Mechanic. Mechanic is the kind of guy where he does his violence first, then he reasons later. Ash kind of works his way into it. So if you push him there, he'll go there, but he prefers to disarm you with words and thoughts. And so I hope some of me is in Ash Cain, but he has a lot more than I have, trust me.
Okay. So obviously Ash Cain is passionate about his work and apparently very good at it. So what would you say is his superpower?
I think that Ash's superpower is that he is able to think through things very calmly. And he's able to diffuse and de-escalate situations. That's his superpower. Women like him, guys like him, gangsters like him, wealthy country club members like him. He's just the kind of guy where he's authentic, and you respect his authenticity. And I think his superpower is that people relate to him, and he feels good about who he is, and he's unapologetic by the way of who he is, and I think people respect that.
Okay. So what inspired your diversion from nonfiction, the medical-oriented books, to the books this type of book, a novel that you've written now?
Yeah, well, the Ash Cain series, Eagle Rock, I've always been a lover and a reader of fiction. I've always written it for myself, hoping one day I would publish. So everyone knows me as the health guru, the diet guy, and I still write those books. In fact, in January I have a new book out called Eat Your Age. But I've always wanted to publish my fiction, and so it's not necessarily a diversion. It's a diversion publicly because people don't know that.
Right.
But for me, it's always been a passion of mine. I read fiction, I watch fiction, crime fiction and thrillers, and I just always wanted to write it. So finally, I just said, listen, I've been doing these health books for a long time. it's time to publish some of my creative writing.
I'm that person too. I love crime stories. I love things about law. I never thought about writing about it because I'm a writer first myself. But I never thought about writing about it. So maybe that's something I should think about.
Now you should think about it.
I know. Right? You're inspiring me. So I was going to ask you that also. Did you have any of your nonfiction books on the horizon?
Yeah. So Eat Your Age comes out in January 25. And it's a book that says, what are the top 10 foods or ingredients you should be eating for your decade of life? What are the best exercises for your decade? What are the best medical tests? What numbers should you know? And also, what physical things should you be able to perform based on your age? So it's really a compendium of really good information about how you can live your best life decade by decade.
Well, promise me you'll come back and we can talk about that book when it comes out, because I definitely want to hear about that.
I'm going to send you an early copy and come back and talk about it. I think it's very helpful.
Thank you. Yeah, that is. I definitely want to know that. So, as an author, what made you, I guess you just kind of explained that, but I was going to ask, what kind of encouraged you to kind of go between these two genres of fiction and nonfiction?
Well, writing fiction really allows you to flex your creative muscle. And when I write my nonfiction, there is some creativity, but it's really heavily based on science and research. So you can't really go outside the lines too much. But with fiction, you can do anything you want. You can go to places where you normally would not go in regular life. You can create situations that you may never experience. And it allows you to really explore. And I'm an explorer, and so I really love being able to create scenarios, to create characters and situations that in my relatively boring life I would not be able to experience or be involved with.
I doubt if your life is boring.
It's much more than Ash Kane's life, let me tell you.
Now that maybe. Because Ash Kane sounds like he got it going on.
He got it going on.
Where can we pick up Eagle Rock?
Yeah, so Eagle Rock is available in all formats, digital, audio, and hardcover. But Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, local bookstores, support your local bookstores. And people like audio too, but audio is a new thing. I'm an old guy. I'm very tactile. I like to touch my pages. But for those who like audio books, it's available in audiobook also.
Okay.
And my Instagram too. My Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. So you can message me if you get a copy of the book. Let me know that. I'll maybe give you a free copy of Eat Your Age that comes out in January 25.
All right. Well, that was my next question, so thank you. You're ahead of the game. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ian Smith.